Good afternoon, ladies. As I promised previously on my Insta stories, today I'm gonna be posting about why I got my implants removed. I've been posting a lot of my stories about my surgery, but in Spanish. So today I'm gonna be posting this video in English. That way, to bring you a little bit of awareness. I know most people don't know that this actually exists. I didn't even know until probably almost a year ago. I had my first breast implants done when I was almost 30, 14 years ago. And I can honestly admit that it helped me a lot with my self-esteem. But then 10 years later, which is what's recommended, I decided to go get a check because I was having some discomfort, and then the surgeon told me I needed to replace them because I had some tissue damage. He said it was not an emergency, but he highly recommended it. So I decided to go for it before turning 40, um, which I did. Actually replaced them for silicone, going from saline, and I was very happy with the way I look and the results. Actually, he put a little bit, my implants were a little bit bigger because that's what he said it was recommended, just to fill the space on the tissue. But then I started having some issues, which at first I didn't put too much attention to it. I remember um, I remember that one of the first things I noticed was that my every time I ate certain foods, I would get really bloated. I would be burping a lot, which was actually weird for me. And so sometimes I will have the same issue, So sometimes I will feel bloated, gassy, really bad. My stomach will get really hard. But I thought maybe, I was going through a stage. I never blame it on my implants. That was one of the first things. The other thing was I started having, well, actually I had the issue before, which it kind of became a little more noticeable, which was tingling in my hands, and they would wake me up in the middle of the night because I would get so numb that I would not feel anything. I would have to just get up and do this. So that intensified my anxiety. I had always suffered from anxiety, but I noticed it actually increased. If you see me looking down, it's because I made a list actually. um, I will have constant post-nasal drip, like if I had a cold, which was very annoying because I was had to be clearing my throat all the time. I would feel like that dropping on the back without having a cold or anything like that. Another thing that I noticed was my periods change. When I had my cycle, they would be painful. I would have headaches that were really bad, and the worst thing was my chronic fatigue. Okay, there was a time where I was sometimes driving, and you know that when you're so tired, you fall asleep for seconds and you think you've been asleep for a while. That will happen to me at a traffic light. So, and I kept complaining to my hubby back then, and we never thought anything of it, but I personally blamed it because I was having a lot of issues sleeping. I would wake up a few times at night, my back will hurt. On the weekends, most people usually leave late. I couldn't sleep late. I will be up and ready to get up by 7 o'clock in the morning because I will be in so much pain. I blame the bed. I have a tempur-pedic, and I thought that maybe the bed was hurting me. I try to blame it on a lot of things. Okay, so also another thing that I had was I had a pain going from my neck all the way through my shoulder. I had actually a bump like right here down on my neck, which is almost gone. Actually, I just noticed that it's not there anymore. um and I thought it was my back pain was because of that, because I got injured a few years back lifting weights. So I blame it on that. um I'm going through a lot of doctors and tests. I found out that I had two cervical disc damage, and I blame my issues with my back to that as well. And I had a pinched nerve, that's what I actually assumed. But anyway, there was a lot of issues. Also, one of the things that I noticed change was my vision. When I went to, I went to the doctor every year just to get a one nose checkup, and I always came out. My results were always good. So I was healthy, I was strong, I was exercising, I always take care of myself, but I kept having the same issues, and the blood pressure was one of the things that bothered me the most because it is frustrating when you, as a woman, you try to put makeup and you can hardly see. When you're sitting down and you can hardly see your food or what you're eating, even though you know what is there. I felt that way many times. Some days were worse than others. Um, but my doctor kept telling me I was okay. So the sleeping, another thing that I pretty much created a behavior of grinding my teeth on my left side. And I think I started doing my research. I like to read a lot when I have an issue and try to get answers. And sometimes the answers are not the ones you're expecting. Sometimes, yeah, you kind of make sense of those answers. So in my case, I blame it on my stress because I wasn't sleeping. But I kept grinding them. I went to the doctor. They recommended to use a mouth guard. So I've been wearing actually a mouth guard for almost 2 years. So now that I have the surgery, I stopped, but I still feel it. Sometimes if I didn't have my mouth guard, I will put so much pressure on my left side that I would wake up with headache and my jaw will hurt the next day. So that's another thing. Memory loss. I will, sometimes um memory loss. I was, sometimes it was very frustrating because I will be giving my classes online, or I will be talking to somebody that I will forget, like something I was going to say a minute before, I couldn't say because I have forgotten. So I had to just kind of put my thoughts together and try to remember what I was going to say, and that happened to me many times. So things that which are sometimes normal, that you put something somewhere and you completely forget where you put it, or you're trying to put it somewhere that is, you would remember, and then you don't remember. That happened to me a lot. And so all of these issues brought me a lot of questions because I kept telling the doctor it's not normal that I feel this way, and my analysis or my blood work comes out always normal. So about a year ago, a friend of mine, actually, she is now a very good friend of mine. She came on board where at my job, and she has some issues with health. She ended up in the urgent care a few times. She got a bad infection. She had her actually a breast implant rupture, and I saw her to a point that I don't wish that on any woman, being in so much pain, being in so much, frustration because her insurance was not helping. Um, and again, it's hard for people to believe that this has to do with your breast implants because it's not public. This is something that's coming out just now, where even the FDA is investigating, is willing to put us the implants in the black box with a sign or warning to whoever decides to put them on, knowing what the risk and what the implants have, and how much you can actually put yourself in risk, and we're talking about your health. So like I said, with my friend, she brought me to, she brought some awareness to me, and she mentioned a Facebook group, breast implant illness. There are many, but then I decided to join one of them, and I got a lot of answers, by reading, from ladies. There's so many women out there that are suffering from this. They're frustrated. They have had many years. And I can say gladly, and I thank God that I was not in the worst condition. There were other women that they lost their marriages, they lost everything pretty much because they couldn't do anything. They couldn't get up. They didn't have the energy to get up every morning to do the things they needed to do. So I was not in that position, but I was very frustrated with so many years suffering from the fatigue and all the symptoms. The last thing was after going through a neurosurgeon for my back, going through a rheumatologist because of my pain, and when I went to the rheumatologist, he actually prescribed me some medicine that helped me with the pain and helped me with some of the symptoms. So I was very thankful because, something at least was helping me. But then also throughout the whole process, I found out through another woman that posted a video like this, talking about, how or what she went through in the times blood analysis that were recommended to find out if you had like an autoimmune disease. So I requested, I mentioned it to my general physician. She actually listened to me. I think that's all it takes from one doctor or someone to listen to you for the first time, and you feel kind of finally I'm getting something done. So I asked her to send me some blood work specifically to find that out, and she did. It came out positive for autoimmune disease back then. Then when I went to the rheumatologist, he sent me more tests. He actually tested me for lupus, cancer, for autoimmune disease, and he came out to me saying that the percentages were very low, but the only thing he told me was do a research, find out about fibromyalgia. You're gonna see that a lot of your symptoms had to do with that. You're gonna find them there, which I did, and I found that most of my symptoms were fibromyalgia symptoms. But they're very similar as well to any autoimmune disease. So anyway, that was back in January, and I made my decision, after all of this research, that I was gonna get my implants removed. To me, it was hard because I think many women, their appearance is important, and especially if you add into the fitness, you want to look good. But you get to a point. I'm almost 44. I'm turning 44 in 2 weeks, and you had to decide either look good and suffer and be miserable, or look good, not your best. When we're talking about not having boobs, or loving yourself and doing your best and be healthy. So I picked being healthy, even against my family's will. They were not, especially now because of the coronavirus. They were concerned that I will get it and I will, I will have complications and I will end up in the hospital. I'm praying that no, it's not the case. I'm home. I'm taking care of myself. I'm taking my meds. But I'm very happy, boobless. But I'm loving myself. I feel more energetic. My face is changing. The only thing that I'm having that is bugging me now is I've been sneezing a lot today. I've been I had a runny nose all day today, but I think it has to do with detoxing. Your body is so full. When you have implants, your body gets so full of toxins that I believe that once you get them removed, your body has to cleanse. There's a period or it's a process of cleansing, and I'm starting to get that the feelings on cleansing my body. But anyway, I wanted to bring awareness. I'm not saying that if you had the thought of getting implants done, not to do them. I think that's a very personal decision. but think about it, do your research before you do it. I had given a lot of advice to my kids. Yeah, as you know, I had two girls. One is 22, the other one is 15, and that crosses their mind, because it has to do also with society. They get peer pressure from friends. They want to look good. They want to look their best, and until I will say 2 years ago, I was not against it, but after everything that I've gone through, I highly recommend that you think about it. There's other options now. Is fat transfer. You can get bigger boobs, transferring your own fat. So that's pretty much it. Ladies, think about it. I think your health is more important than anything else. We can still look good. We can take care of our body. And not make the mistake or just putting something foreign in your body, because your body is gonna try to protect itself in any way. And what happens is when you get implants, the body starts creating a capsule right above the implant. So it creates a capsule around the implant, and no matter how strong the cover of that implant is going to release toxins into your body, and that's going to make you sick. Not sooner or later you're going to feel sick. You're going to have symptoms. You're going to be miserable. So don't let it get to that point. And if you are feeling symptoms, do your research. Join one of the groups in Facebook. They're very, very helpful. There is a lot of YouTube videos. The doctor that I got my surgery done with, he has angel hands. I did my research on him. He's actually very experienced, and he's knowledgeable about the issues that we women are having. He's actually one of those doctors that is not doing anything else but explanting, and he does 3 or 4 surgeries a day. That's what he told me, because there's a lot of women out there that needs the help. Okay, so I hope that this video is bringing a little awareness to you. If you have any questions, by the way, I want to thank you, all my ladies, loyal followers who send me messages, send me so much love. I was not expecting it. Thank you so much. I will be very grateful for all the love that you send me, and I hope my messages and everything that I post inspires you and motivates you a little bit. And if you need anything, I'm here.